All gear tends to work after a fresh unboxing, but how well does gear do after being used in the real world after a few gigs? Today I'm going to talk about the both 360 pixel tubes and my experiences of using these in like the past year or so. So before we get this video started, I just wanted to let you know I have a full review of these lights and I'll have a link in the description below. And I'll be quite honest, I was not intending to make the both lighting 360 pixel tube my main light. I only asked for a set because so many people were asking me questions about them on how to program them, and I was rocking the Chauvet Wellsticks 180s and I was quite happy with them. So I only asked for a set so that I could demo them and play around with them and help others program theirs. But after 1 year of owning two sets of the Chauvet Wellsticks 180s and paying a small fortune to get them, I was starting to get a little bit disillusioned with the Wellsticks. Because despite paying so much, and to Chauvet's credit, they did have good service, those lights were constantly having to be warranty repaired. I think within those 12 months, there's only a small window when I had all of the lights. I always was having incomplete sets of lights. So I created a comparison video comparing these to my Chauvet Wellsticks 180s. And so while I found out that the Chauvet Wellsticks 180s were better in most areas, and that they were more fun to display, like at angles and stuff, I just felt like that these were a better value, a better bang for your buck. Because for the price of like one set of Chauvet Wellsticks 180s, I could buy dozens of these. And I felt like that these pixel tubes provide a really nice ambiance with the eye candy effects, and I wanted to implement this into my company's branding. And I just feel a little bit better about the price of these for using them in the mobile wedding DJ scenario. And to be honest, the design of these things are extremely simple. I mean, the parts are cheaply made, don't get me wrong, but it's effective and reliable. And with built-in normal wireless DMX, I feel like that these are ideal for DJs because you can just use your normal wireless transmitter, the same transmitter you use to control your uplights with. You don't have to have two separate transmitters, which I love. And so I ended up buying like 8 of these in black, 8 of these in white, and I just wanted to share a few of the lessons I've had while owning these things, as well as some of the quirks. So these tend to work best when they're elevated. So they are pretty tall right out of the box, and so you can set them on the ground with a tripod. But when the dance floor starts to get packed, they lose some of their effectiveness. So if they're raised up, like this one right here, on top of like a microphone stand, or they even make their own stands, they just tend to work better. Another lesson is that they don't really throw. And that's okay. I've just learned in my career that so many of the lights that are marketed towards DJs are too bright, and we're needing to dim them anyways. So a light like this is ideal because it provides enough light to set the ambiance, but not blind anybody. And it looks really great in camera. I mean, yeah, look at that. That looks really cool in my camera right now. And if I wasn't using a wide angle lens, it'd give it like a really cool bokeh effect. And so while these things look good, like in a static color like this, pixel mapping is really how you get the most out of them. Having some pixel chases, it looks cool, it adds animation, it adds texture to your lights. Eye candy that matches the beat of the music is even better. And having like chases go up and down the tube is really cool because you can set those lights all around the room, and it doesn't matter what order you have. But as long as you have a chase going up and down the tube, that's really cool. And so you can achieve that with like sound active mode and the auto modes. But I just really like to use DMX. I feel like DMX is the simplest to use at a gig. It does take a little bit of time to get it all set up. I personally like Sound Switch to control my lights, and I have a few videos on how to set that up. But if you're just looking for like a shortcut, just like an easy button, well, I have something called the Sound Switch shortcut. I also have a video in the description below. But basically, I have a bunch of interesting pixel chases that I manually created that you can just download and use in Sound Switch and just hit the ground running without too much effort. So I'll have a link to that in the description below. And so I do miss being able to set these at an angle. They have a pretty wide diameter, and they're extremely bottom heavy, so they don't work as well as some of the other pixel tubes on the market to display at an angle. And I've seen some people try to display these at an angle, and I feel like that it doesn't look great. But I mean, aesthetics super subjective, so you may have a different look, but it just looks uneven, unbalanced, and I don't like it. And even if you do have it like perfectly centered on a certain surface, like you have this handle and it just sticks out like a sore thumb, and I don't like the design. Another thing is that the bottoms are extremely cheap and the threads tend to wear out easily. So this is an example. So this is like a mic stand. It's a 1/4 inch adapter, and it is stuck in here because the metal is so cheap and it has caught a snag. Luckily, it comes with like another set that's not waterproof. It has a couple of holes so that you can operate sound active mode. So it's nice that each tube you buy comes with an extra bottom, but you're gonna need them because out of my original 4, 3 of them have gone out. And that's when I thought, like, maybe there's a way I don't have to screw and unscrew the mounting hardware as much. So I looked into like these quick locks, and I've had a couple of shorts on them, and I'll have a link in the description below to them. But yeah, these are just like some microphone quick locks, so that you can just keep this attached to the bottom of your light and you're not wearing out those threads. And it also just makes setup that much easier. So I tried this one from SmallRig for cameras. It tended to be a little bit more wobbly, but I still think that they were acceptable. And I really liked the low profile because I could fit this into the original bag. And so I found these other quick locks, one Gator Frameworks and one of these chrome ones from On Stage. I liked the Gator Frameworks a little bit better, but it only came in black. And the On Stage one comes in chrome, and I feel like that looks better with the white. And so while these are a lot easier to set up, and I feel like a lot more durable, when attached to the light, they become too long to fit into the original bag. And so while the original bag I feel like is actually pretty nice, I started looking into options to find like a bag that could fit these quick locks while attached, and I found this particular bag. I'll have a link in the description below. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about this bag because not only can I keep like the quick locks attached, I can also keep the tripods. It's kind of a tight fit, but this will help me in so many ways because keeping this mounting hardware attached during transit will, 1, help me set it up quicker and take down a lot quicker, and 2, it'll preserve those threads and not wear it out as quickly. Do note you have to tighten those things from time to time. I was kind of surprised, but it's kind of heavy having 8 of these. And this season, I'm planning on using 6 of these at a time. This thing has like 12 settings on 1 hour increments to prolong the battery life. Say like, I want this to run for 6 hours. It'll adjust the brightness to be able to run for that duration. But there's times that I set it for like 5 hours, and then 8 hours later, it says it's at 80% battery, so it's not very accurate. I did do a test and I put it on 1 hour mode and it died within about an hour, so I just don't really trust it very much, but that's okay because just setting it like on 5 to 6 hour mode, it seems to last like all my gigs. And they have a weird behavior while plugged in because, let's face it, there's going to be a time where you have a gig back to back, you don't have time to charge these, so you're just going to plug these in while operating them. And so I have like a video just kind of detailing some of this weird behavior, because if you have it operating and you plug it in, it like shuts off. So you have to like plug it in, then turn it on, and then it will work as intended. But if you have it like plugged in and turned off, you still can control like the various menu options, and like the wireless DMX light blinks if you have wireless DMX transmitting. So yeah, overall, I feel like these lights are a little bit rough around the edges. They're a little bit limited in how you can use them, but they're very reliable, they're effective, cost efficient, and convenient. They're kind of like a case of like, they're not perfect, but they're good enough to do the job. And I plan on using these as my main light for this next year, as well as for my company. Thank you so much for watching this video. What are your thoughts on the Both Lighting 360 Titan Pixel Tube? Let me know the good and the bad and everything in between down in the comments below, and please smash like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.